Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third video in my series, Desensitization for CRPS. In the first episode of Desensitization, I explained the brain's map and why we do the things that I'm about to suggest in this video. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch it. In the second series of desensitization, I gave you some more tips and tricks of ways to approach desensitization further with things like mirror therapy, beans, rice, and also my KT taping method that combines mirror therapy and desensitization as a whole from the stretch of the skin. So if you haven't seen video one or video two, please go back and watch that, and then you'll be ready for this video, video three, where I go over a variety of tools to help you with your desensitization. Before we get started, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chase Teagarden, and I was diagnosed with CRPS myself a little over 10 years ago. After 4 years of struggling with pain and no answers from doctors whatsoever, I was able to get out of pain myself, and now I help people all around the world as not only a doctor of physical therapy and therapeutic pain specialist, but also one of 60 fellows of pain science in the nation. Some of you are watching this video in my online course. Some of you are watching this video on YouTube. If you find this video helpful, my online course has a plethora of more videos like this one, and you are welcome to join that anytime by visiting the link in the description down below. Everything in this video is going to be linked in the description. You can get it off of Amazon. These are just some of my favorite tools over my nearly 7 years of helping people with complex pain conditions and CRPS. One of the reasons that these tools are helpful is because they are mimicking things we need to do in everyday life that are currently painful. So, for example, one of the tools that I'm going to bring up here is a vibration plate. Anything with vibration that we want to do, like riding a bike, going in a car, sitting on a wagon at a pumpkin patch, anything you can think of that involves vibration, riding an airplane, that is what the vibration plate is going to help us with. Additionally, some of you may be having trouble taking a shower or a bath. And one of the things that I have in this video is a foot bath. A foot bath is very good for getting you not only exposed to water, but some of them even have heating and cooling faculties or features that will help you get exposed to cold and hot. Additionally, they will have something like a jet, so that will make showers easier to handle. And then eventually, as you start to get better and better, you'll be able to do things like go in a hot tub or enjoy other like spa treatments like that. So we start out very small. Remember, as I've said in previous videos, I started out with just wiggling my toes 5 times a day. And over time, our body learns and adapts because it can always do that. And we are able to tolerate these things again. So, one belief with CRPS that if you're in my online course, you know is completely false. It does not have to be forever. We just need to give our body physically the information it needs to calm the nervous system. And we also need to address our emotions mentally and emotionally to calm our nervous system as well. That includes revisiting or reprocessing traumas in our life, grieving those that we may have lost around the time of our injury, and much, much more. So, if you're in my online course, you know, as you go through and get to module 7, we talk about trauma and emotions. Right now, in module 4, which is where this video is placed in my online course, we are working on the physical aspect of CRPS. But remember, the mind and body are one, and you cannot heal CRPS only approaching the body itself. So if you're in my online course, do not stop here. There's a lot more in the second half, but this video is going to be great to give you physical tools while you work on the physical side of CRPS as you move forward. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to show you guys what I've got over here. I've got three huge bins of tools that I like to use for CRPS. So I'm going to have some jump cuts in here as I open the tools and help you guys see them, but it's going to be a pretty raw, straightforward video. So remember, these things are not things that you would typically start with. If you are having trouble touching your skin in general, go back to video one and video two, start there. But if you are starting to get a little more advanced, you're hitting video three and you need some more things to help you with strength and sensitivity, this is the video that you're looking to watch, okay? I'm going to try and zoom out my camera here for you real quick. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes technology isn't as good as we think. Okay, so, or I'm just not good at it. Um, first thing, let's tackle some feet stuff, okay? That sounds kind of weird, but so first thing here, one of the things that happened to me when I was dealing with CRPS is my toes kind of curled up and got stuck together, and it was really hard for them to move. As I started getting them to move, I wanted to give them more space. I wanted to help them expand. And so what I did is I went to Walgreens and I picked up those foam manicure or sorry, pedicure separators. They were okay and they helped me and I would wear them for a time to get my toes to separate. But what you can actually pick up from Amazon are these gel ones, and these might actually feel a little bit better than the foam ones. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll take these obviously out of the package, and then you'll get your foot like this, and then you just put the separators in there. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Okay, and then you just wear these. It's a very passive thing. You know, you can wear them while you're lounging around on the couch or wear them, for as long as tolerable. And for some of you, that might be for 30 seconds to start. And that's okay. 30 seconds a day wearing these separators like this is totally cool, to start training your toes to be apart. Once these become easy and really easily tolerable, you can switch to something a little more intense, which would be these yoga toes. Okay, and like I said, everything's going to be linked down in the description. If you're in the online course, I'm going to have a document with everything linked, so you'll be able to find that in the attachments of the course. But same thing with these. You'll just pop these open, and this is going to be a little bit more advanced to start to get that mobility back in your toes. Okay, so you can kind of see how this is. I think this is the left foot one, and this is cool because this was the foot that had CRPS for me and it doesn't hurt. So this is proof of concept that this stuff works. Okay, so there's the foot with CRPS, and I'm gonna pop these guys on here. And this really separates the toes. So this is a challenge even for me. But there you go. You can see how separated my toes are now. And this one's actually more comfortable than the other one. But yeah, you just sit there with this on your feet. And if you're only affected in one foot, I want you to do this on both feet. And you'll know why if you watched my last video. The mirroring effect of reducing pain is very important. So I would use these on both feet when you do it, even if only one foot is affected. If you're affected on both feet, I would do it on both feet for the same reason, okay? So we got that. It looks like they send you a couple packs here of the gel ones. Those are great. And then taking it a step further, as we start to work towards more compressed materials, so like more uh, tight socks to retrain us to get into shoes. Okay, so to give you an idea of the progression for getting back into shoes, you would wear very loose socks. You would wear a little bit tighter socks, a little bit tighter socks, and then compression socks. And then you would start putting on shoes. You would put on really loose shoes, like Crocs. You would put on shoes that you can tighten up, like Velcro shoes or like laced shoes in sections. So you might go unlaced, loosely laced, tightly laced. And then you move on to more intense shoes like heels and stuff like that as they become tolerable. Step by step with that, you'll see throughout the course as I work with patients getting back to those things. But the next thing here is actually something that was recommended to me by one of my clients, and I thought it was super smart. This is a sock with a built-in toe separators. Okay, so I'm going to put these on so you can see here. And so you slide these socks on, and you're getting a 2-for-1 with these. You're getting toe separation and you're getting the compression effect. So it's a shoe with toe separation. Okay, and you could just wear these around the house depending on what level you're at. Instead of wearing regular socks, just wear these around the house for a while. And remember, both feet at once, okay? So these are real nice. And I think they were only in one size, the ones that I saw on Amazon, but I'll link whatever I can down in the description below or in the attachments of the online course, okay? So there's number 3 for the feet. And while we're on the feet, when we're getting even more advanced, so the socks, the toe separators, they're preparing us for things touching our feet and getting our feet mobile again. When we're preparing to go do something like go to the beach or go hiking or walk on uneven ground or on a trail or on a gravel road, then we need to start exposing our feet to pokey or pointy surfaces, okay? And that's where something like this comes in. This is an acupressure pad with some balls here that we can also use. And this is kind of a hybrid for both the feet and the hands. And I'll show you how. Okay. So let's start with feet. Let's see. I want to pull this out of the bag here. Start with feet. So you've got this. Okay, so now we're going to get our feet. And remember, we're using the mirror effect. So we're doing two at once. If you are in a lot of pain in one of your feet and not ready for this, it's okay to do only the good foot, the good foot. Okay, don't call it that, but the non-affected foot. And place the mirror. So let's say you've been working on mirror therapy from the last video. Place the mirror like this. So if right hand is good and left hand is not, we're going to have the left hand over here, and then we're going to have the right hand, and we're going to touch this mat in various ways and practice rolling this ball while looking in the mirror. So our brain is tricked into thinking it's our left hand rolling this. And obviously, you're not going to have this on your lap. You're going to have it on a table if you're doing it with your hand. And if you're doing it with your feet, you're going to have it on the floor like this, okay? I'm going to tilt this down just a bit. If you're doing it with your feet, you're going to have it just like this. And if we want to start out with touching like gravel or something, we're just going to place our feet here. And for me, this actually, obviously, this feels good now. You know, I could stand up on it. It's no problem. And you guys will get there. But we want to put it on the floor and just start with light stuff. You know, you can find, this has a bunch of different textures. This is pointy. This is kind of pokey. The balls are fun to roll. It actually feels quite good, to be honest, because it's an acupressure pad. But this is something you can practice with both feet, okay? And if your left can only tolerate, you know, let's say the left foot's affected, if it can only tolerate barely touching, you can take the right and do the ball while having the left down. The brain is getting information no matter what, and that's all we want, okay? And if you're advanced and you're starting to get to the point where your hands can tolerate it, again, you can put both your hands here. You know, you can kind of feel these things. Okay, you can roll the ball. You can come up onto the arm. If the arm's affected, you can go do something like this. Any of that is totally fine as we start to get things back, okay? You can kind of roll the hands like this. All of that's cool. If you aren't quite there with the hands, and let's say your pain comes to here, you can start with here and up as a starting point. Just lift your hands up like this and just start with laying your forearms on there. Okay. You don't have to go full send on whatever you're doing. You can pace yourself into this stuff. Okay. So there's that. And then to piggyback, pun intended, off of that, we also have this acupressure bed here or mat. And this thing is a lot more pokey than the other ones. It feels good, but it feels funny on my arms. And remember, I don't have any pain or symptoms, okay? So my description of how it feels, it will be different for you at this moment, but not always. And what's cool about this is not only can you use this for hands that are affected, but obviously feet, but taking it a step further, let's say your low back has pain or issue, CRPS related or not. This is something you can also lay on. And again, it's acupressure, so the idea is for it to be relaxing for you. You can also lay on it like this, okay? And you might want to get a pillow. And you'll just lay and do it for like 30 seconds or so. And actually, it's very relaxing, like during meditation. to use something like this. But again, this is something that's advanced. Okay, you can see, how pointy that is. So use it slowly, start ease yourself into it, okay? So there's that. Give me a second. Gonna adjust this as I get the new stuff. Okay, so we got that. Obviously, my favorite KT tape. This you can get on Amazon. That's linked in the description. Pause this camera. Now let's talk about. I'm just gonna do this on my knees now. Now let's talk about my favorite strength grip trainer. So here is the grip training balls. Okay, we've got in this set, we've got soft, we've got medium, and we've got hard. Okay, and so let's say your left hand is the one that is affected. You'd start with soft in this hand, and you'd start with medium or hard in this hand, and you'd squeeze them both at the same time, squeezing, just like that. Okay, training the grip strength as much as we can. Sitting watching TV, doing something like that, training your grip. It's going to come back. We just got to train it, just like anything. Okay. No matter what we do, we can change our brain. That is why we can learn new languages. That is why we can learn how to use our cell phone when it gets updated. That is why we can learn a new instrument. Whenever we learn something new, our brain changes. And remember, this pain starts in the brain, just as all pain does. No matter what, pain is coming from the brain. So if we work on the brain, we can change it. We can change our pain. Okay. Now, let's see. I mentioned this earlier, but let's talk about the temperature adjustments. Okay, so this is the foot spa. And these are great because one, they're relaxing. I have clients who get it and their whole family ends up using it. So this is it. And what's cool about this is that you're going to be desensitizing all kinds of stuff. So this is kind of like a 5-in-1 type of thing. Okay, we've got acupressure. You see down at the bottom, it's got all these points. We've got vibration effects. This has bubbles. This has red light therapy built in. This also has temperature adjustments. So you can work on stepping on hard surfaces. You can work on tolerating water. You can work on water at various temperatures. You can also get some red light therapy benefits. And then it looks like this also has a bubble feature. So that sensation of bubbles going around your feet will work as well. And guess what? This is a foot spa, but you know what else you can use it for? That's right, your hands. So this is a huge, great pickup, and this would be a great tool for you guys to use. Okay, so we got that. All right, so going along the same lines of things for grip strength that we talked about earlier, this is a set that is bought off of Amazon. And this set comes with a grip trainer. Okay, so you guys have seen this if you've been in physical therapy. This is a grip trainer. You can do individual fingers, and then you can do overall grip. That's really nice. There is also a gel ball for training, squeezing, just like the other ones that we had. There is also, this takes it a step further, but various difficulty finger separators. So you can get your fingers in here like this and work on separating your fingers. So those of you that have difficulty doing stuff like this, oh, came out. This is something you could get to work on that. Okay. And this set is really nice. There's one more. This is a grip ring. Okay. This set is really nice because it's going to come with every single one of those items. And the last item is right here. This is a variable resistance grip trainer. Okay, that was really easy for me. I'm trying to keep this in the packaging because I want to donate them. So that's why you see that. But yeah, that set is really great. Imensi's set, there's a ton of sets on Amazon. You do not have to get these specific items. Anything's going to work, okay? This is simpler than you think, so keep it simple. Everything, keep it simple in your mind when it comes to CRPS, okay? Another one, really along the same lines of the acupressure mat. We've got this acupressure foot reflexology tool. And all you're going to do with this is same thing. You'll be sitting down. Like if this is for your, okay, so if this is for your hands, something like this, easy, getting used to feeling. If this is for your feet, you got the idea. Something like this, rubbing back and forth, maybe both feet. Okay, and you can vary up the pressure. You can make it harder or softer. So there's that one. Okay, making a mess over here. Ooh, this one's fun. For the wrist. If you're looking for wrist strengthening, like if you're not only if you had CRPS, but let's say your CRPS onset after a fall and a broken wrist or a wrist surgery, this is going to be something fantastic once you're able to tolerate things touching your hand. This is a great thing to have. This is the Jin BD wrist ball. And you again, you can get any brand, but I'm gonna link in the description this one. And what you do with this, it has a little case. But you're gonna take it out, and then depending on the brand, you get it spinning. So see it spinning on the inside. So usually there'll either be a charger or you'll wipe it against your desk, and then you spin like this. And what happens is that rotation in the center that's spinning is spinning opposite of your hand, and you're getting some really good strengthening. I mean, look at my forearm as I do that and look at my bicep moving. This is working the whole arm if you do it right. Okay. So something like this is really nice for getting those grip muscles working again. Okay. So this is the wrist ball. You can just Google wrist ball or gyrating wrist ball or Amazon it. And you'll find it. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. There's some that you don't have to like rub on the table. They have like actually a charging stand, which is, to be honest, is the one I thought I got, but I didn't. So there's a ton of them if you're looking for something like that. The next thing for wrist strengthening is going to be these flexible resistance bars. This one has 4 different resistances, easy to hard. And what you're going to do with these is work on your wrist strength with twisting motions. Okay. So, yep, this comes in a nice bag and you can pull these out and that's kind of soft. It's like I don't know, a rubbery feeling, which will be desensitizing as well. And you're just going to work on twisting that around and twisting that. Okay. Obviously training your grip. And again, you might have to start with something like this. You might have to start here. That's okay. Wherever you're starting is totally cool. The more that you practice, the easier it's going to get. Okay. We're learning to tolerate this again. We're teaching the brain that we are safe. Okay. And then when that gets easy, you can move up to a higher resistance one like the red one, and it's much more firm and harder to twist. All right. Let's see. This thing is a is next level, but this is a vibration tolerance tool, but also something nice that, your husband or wife could use on you. This is the Hypervolt Hyper Ice. This is the original version, but basically it's a massage gun, and it doesn't come with this case. I have this I bought this case separate. This is a massage gun, and you can attach any type of material or ball. So here's a few different ones. See? to this massage gun, and you can work on tolerating vibration, for the car, for the pumpkin patch ride, for riding your bike. And you turn this guy on and check it out. Okay, it has a variety of different settings. And again, you can, like, let's say your pain is in your hand and it stops at your wrist. If you want to get started, you can start back here. You don't have to be on a painful area to start. I'm feeling that vibration in my fingers as well. Look at my hand. See? So you can start anywhere. And if you just want to be pampered, you can just grab one of these and tell your husband that I said you need to have this put on your back every day. I don't care. But yeah, see so you've got that. And again, you can use this on your feet as well. So if you wanted, if you're working on your foot, and for me, my pain came all the way up to my knee at one point. So I would start here if I was doing that. But then eventually, you can move down. And that feels pretty good. So I'm just trying to motivate you guys because that's my left foot that I'm, vibrating with this thing. And that was the foot that, was never going to get out of pain. Um, that foot is a normal foot now, and I know that yours can be too. We just have to do this kind of work. We got to get creative. We got to think outside the box. We got to teach our brain that we are safe, that vibration is safe, that temperature is safe, that gripping things is safe, all of it. We are looking for safety because our brain and our body right now is stuck in fight or flight. So if you're in my online course, you learned all about that in module 3, all about central sensitization and what has happened to our brain and body and how we can reprogram and deprogram that. Okay, so a lot of these tools are going to be doing exactly that. Okay, now I saved the best for last. I think this is a great tool, and I'm going to pull this out. Okay, this thing right here, this is a vibration exercise machine. And I disagree. This this machine is not an exercise machine. There's not really research that shows vibration in during exercise is that helpful in any way. But if you like it, no harm done. But this, to me, is a vibrating desensitization machine. And you guys will see why if I can get this to stay there. All right, so I'm gonna hold this. Look at this. There are points, there are little dots, there are places where we can put our feet that are going to have some vibration on them as well. And you can do all kinds of different programs with this machine. You can use this machine for your hands. If your hands can't tolerate touching it, again, you can go to your forearms. Okay, you can go to the back of your forearms if you need to. You can do your feet. If your feet can't tolerate the vibration right now, guess what you can do? You can take this thing, you can set up something underneath your chair here, and you can put this. I've had plenty of clients do this. You can put this underneath your thighs. Okay, so your feet aren't even getting the vibration. It's the back of your thighs, but it will vibrate your feet just slightly, but not directly. Okay. And then the progression of that would be to place this on like an ottoman. And then we're going to take our leg and we're going to put our calf on top of the vibration plate. It doesn't need to be this high. Obviously, I'm putting it on my desk, but that would be the next step. These tools are things that you are using in the beginning for maybe 30 seconds or 3 repetitions, the twisting and the gripping a day. Okay. It might be intolerable to you at first to go over 10 or 30 seconds. That is okay. Remember, 1% improvement a day is all we're looking for because over the course of a year, that 1% turns into 37 times better than we are today. So if you try something like this and it makes you flare up at first or something like that, that's totally normal. What is happening is your body is recalibrating. It is learning to understand sensation again, vibration, temperature, liquid, etc. And when something recalibrates, so if this computer that I'm recording on, if it messes up and I turn it off and turn it back on again, all the lights and stuff will turn on and it'll beep and make weird noises, but then it'll work fine. So if you have a flare during desensitization, maybe scale back just a little bit, but remember, you are recalibrating just like the computer. Your lights are turning on and off, everything's beeping and booping, but in the end, it'll work fine. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that. I want you guys to know that you are on the right track, even when you have ups and downs. Remember, recovery is not a straight line, it is a roller coaster. Okay, but as long as we keep moving, we will be making progress from a physical standpoint. Please do not watch this video or the other two desensitization videos and think that this is all there is to getting out of CRPS pain. Remember, the mind and body are two sides of the same coin. We can work on the body, but at the same time, we need to work on the mind. And that is where we're going in the coming modules and in the later parts of my online course if you're watching this on YouTube. So please check out the online course. It's linked down in the description. And if you're in the online course, I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we jump into client videos for Module 4. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm so happy to be able to make this. And I'm going to pack all this stuff up and take it down to the local Goodwill so that someone else could be blessed with all the things that I've bought here. Okay? If you guys have any questions at all, please put them down below this video, whether you're in the online course or on YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.